Hello and welcome to today's video where I'm going to show you how to make ginger chicken. This is a recipe that I learned from my grandma, which is from Thailand, and I kind of made it my own. So here's my version of it. First, you're going to need a whole chicken, a whole bud of ginger, some garlic, which I have previously chopped up and frozen, cilantro, which I also froze. I want some greens in there, so I'm going to add some kale, salt, and pepper. So pretty basic ingredients here. First, we're gonna prepare our ingredients, and what I'm starting with is my ginger. I like to scrape the sides off with the edge of a knife. You can use a peeler or any other device that you like to use, and this is what it looks like when you're done. There are some edges you won't be able to get, so you might have to cut them off. Just like an onion, I use that Gordon Ramsay technique where I kind of make cuts to keep the ginger together, and then I slowly chop it up, so it's a lot easier that way and less messy, and I just like it this way. So maybe you can do it that way. Next, we're going to cut our whole chicken. You don't have to use an entire chicken if you don't want to. You can use whatever you want essentially, but I like to get the whole chicken cut up. It kind of makes me feel like a real chef when I cut the chicken up myself. But you can easily go to a butcher and have them butcher the chicken for you. You could probably buy at your local grocery store a chicken that's already cut up, and that'll work just as well. Probably the best knife to use is something sharp and probably some sort of a heavy cleaver, because we are going to get into the bone here. And just make sure that you're wearing an apron and you wipe your surface down quite well, because you will have a bit of chicken splatter when you're trying to get through that bone. After you're done preparing your ingredients, you're going to add some oil to a deep saucepan, and we're going to sear the chicken the best that we can. Just try to tighten up the skin a little bit. To that, we're going to add our salt, our pepper, and after we get a bit of a sear on the chicken, we're going to add the garlic and the ginger. Make sure you don't put the garlic in right away because it does tend to burn. So you just want to make sure that the temperature is not too high when you're cooking this. We'll mix it around a little bit and we'll continue to add the rest of our ingredients, which would be the cilantro, and I use the frozen stuff. You can just throw it in there. You don't have to cut it up or anything. It's nothing special. And a couple handfuls of chopped kale. This is also frozen as well. Give that a mix, and at this point, we're going to let it cook at medium-high heat with the lid on. We do want the juices to stay in the pot and collect and marinate all that chicken. And at the end here, I saved the chicken breast to cook a little bit later just because I didn't want it to be quite as dry. Everything else I put originally in there was the dark meat. I gave this a bit of a toss. Then I added a little bit of water, about a cup and a half, because I do want this to be a bit soupy. And I threw the lid on and I turned it as high as possible, and I tried to make a little bit of a steam cooker. Once the dish is fully cooked, which would take about 5 to 7 minutes after you added the chicken breast, we're going to take it off the heat. Today I'm serving it over rice. You could probably eat this as a soup if you want. Just add a little bit more water to it, but I like it served over some carbohydrates, in which case I'm using rice. Kind of classic thing for Asian food. And make sure you get a lot of the juices at the bottom onto that rice, because it's so rich and savory. That's how easy it is to make my style of ginger chicken, and I hope you liked the video. Please leave a comment and a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.